Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of Survival Island Plus. Now I'm just over here in my industrial craft farm area, and been maintaining this for a bit, trying to extend the amount of resin plants that I have. Seems to be going relatively well, but I'm not going to be showing a lot of this unless something truly amazing happens. I'm getting a good amount of sugar cane, so I mean, honestly, a really good amount. I've been here maybe 10 minutes, harvested these twice. I've got another 4 or 6 stacks of these back in my base, so I'm gonna use those for something nice. I'm gonna have to pop back and forth to here, but I'm not gonna show that again unless something truly amazing happens. But rest assured, I'm maintaining this farm, trying to get more resin from it. Well, I found something. There's this, and it seems to have spread a lot. I'm gonna right-click it and see what it is. Purple dye? It's kind of weird. Not that useful. So can you see what I'm holding in my hand? I just got melons. Yep, melons. So that's nice. And you can also see that I'm expanding this resin. Alright? Now I've had to babysit these for some time, but it's proving worthwhile to me. I've also gotten some more of those weird blue plants, and I made a bunch of chests over here, so built this area out a little bit more, just so that I could have this nice area to walk around and not harm any of my crops and not have to jump over chests. Anyway, so these guys are here. This one has wheat seeds. No, yeah, wheat seeds. I don't know why some of these are reeds. I only put wheat seeds in there, so. This one only has reed seeds, and I mean, these are what I got from harvesting those types, okay? This one has, that weird purple dye plant seeds in it. And this one is where I'm going to put the resin seeds. So what have I done here? I have extended all of these plants that I have now come to know as stick reeds to this entire area, minus, a few plots. And I got netherwort for my troubles, okay? And I can actually plant these, again, somewhere else. But I'm gonna let these grow and then get them, and then I'm gonna make sure it's all stick reeds. But I want this entire plot to be dedicated to these, right? So what I'm doing is I'm building, while I wait for these to finish, I'm building an additional plot over here, alright? And this one will be for tampering and experimentation, and that one will be dedicated to reeds. Oh, what are you doing over here? I just gave you more space to run on. That one, it's like shooting fish in a barrel sometimes. Which, don't get me wrong, it's a relatively entertaining pastime. It's just, I don't know. It's not very challenging, I ate through all my fish. So here comes some bread, alright? Nice stack of bread. Alright, as you can see, I finished this area up. It's all nice and pretty and done. You can put up these strange floating lights. And in the middle here, because I removed these fence posts, I put vanilla redstone lamps, okay? And just the levers under them. Just to keep the light level up here so there's no monsters on here, alright? Nice monster-free platform. The exception of that Enderman that I had to kill during the daytime and just wandered around here. I don't know why they keep doing that, but I mean, I wouldn't do that. It seems like a bad idea. These resin plants are pretty much all going, except for like 2 or 3 of them. And once they're done, I'm gonna harvest these. I think while I wait, I'm going to kill some squids. Come here. Squid killing, squiditch. So I'm just going to put some nether warts, about half of what I have over here, just so that they can start growing, because it would be nice to have them. But I'm going to be making sure there are no empty crops next to these, okay? So that if I can just leave these and I don't have to tend to them, they'll just grow. And whenever I come back, they'll probably have grown, and there will be no weeds. Now likewise over here, these have completely filled in, okay? All but one of these are actually fully grown, to my knowledge. So, as long as I leave them here and don't break any of them, I do not have to tend to them. I do not have to babysit them, and I can instead simply just begin harvesting them and right-click. See how much resin I get. Now these will all grow back, as long as I don't left-click them or trample them. Sometimes it looks like they're turning into regular sugarcane, but that's just temporary. They will grow back. Alright, so all in all, not a bad haul. They're all there and they'll slowly regrow and I don't have to watch them. And I got almost 2 stacks of sticky resin. And I already have a stack in my base, so look forward to industrial craft machines coming sometime in the future. Alright, now I've made a new building and I'm moving all of my forestry machines' produce into it. Check it out, it's a nice open area. I'm sticking peat in this chest. This chest will house saplings and seeds. This one will have wood, and this one will have wheat. Okay? Now this leaves me with an extra chest, which I'll use in a bit. But for now I'm going to connect them to my logistics network. I made 5 chassis Mark IIs, and 5 each of provider modules and polymorphic item sync modules. I'll put 1 of each in here. And for the provider modules on each of these, I will say leave 1 item per stack. That way it won't draw out the very last piece in any of them. Now for this to work, I had to make sure that I removed any of the items that were in the other chests so that they wouldn't freak out when they were looking for location. Because I'm going to connect this to my logistics network. Actually just via a pipe. And this actually should work without setting a different frequency. If I put 16 wood in here, it gets sorted into this chest. And as you can see, I can still see everything from my home base. And in addition, I can see the wood, the saplings, the wheat, everything that I added in that small storage area. So really, for these logistics systems, you don't need a plethora of teleport pipes. You just need to make certain that your teleport pipes are connected to a logistics pipe of some sort. The fact that this pipe is connected to a request pipe, which is a logistics pipe, means that it will intelligently route what it needs. Now, if you were to put a teleport pipe somewhere on a network connected to logistics pipes, but not connect it to a logistics pipe of some sort, then you would have a problem. Because logistics pipes and intersections, they function just like unadorned buildcraft, whereas an item will take a random path if there is an intersection in a pipe. Unless, of course, you use an iron transport pipe. Speaking of iron transport pipes, the chests that were used to be here they're gone. So for this to function properly, I'm going to need 2 things. 1, I need to get this pipe out of here. 2, I need an iron transport pipe here. An iron transport pipe will tell all the items flowing into it to go out the open side. So what I need to do is orient this down so that items go this way. And I need to connect this to my logistics network. So what I'm going to do is put a basic logistics pipe here and a teleport pipe to my network, receiving true. So you can see that if I take this peat out of this engine, it will request 2 more peat and put it in. So this is now connected to my network. And seeing as this is a basic logistics pipe, when it comes out of these pipes and it hits this, the items that hit this pipe are then in the network, and they will teleport their way to their destination. I have 546 sand in my network at the moment. If we simulate this machine forcing out a piece of sand by briefly turning this machine on, the sand goes out, is forced downward by the iron pipe, hits the logistics pipe, and goes through the teleport pipe. And now in our network we have 547 pieces of sand, so it intelligently routes the items back to their appropriate chests. Of course, I don't want this on, so I'm going to turn it off. But this basic idea is sound, and if I connect my other machines via the same principle, all I have to do is put
bog earth and humus somewhere in the network, and these machines will run. Now, the reason why I decided to make this small storage facility is because I know that these machines are going to quickly fill up these chests, and at the same time, I kind of like having that many resources. But having a small area in which to store them is just so fun. It's a little ritzy, you know? But come on, isn't having a grain storage shed just awesome? Now actually, any type of logistics pipe will do. So for this system, after connecting the iron pipe, the items come down here, they will end up in this pipe. At this point, they will be in this logistics network. This is a logistics pipe. So, I can simply connect the network here, and it will have the same effect. However, I will be saving one additional basic logistics pipe. I'm going to briefly turn on the turbary. You'll see that it's already requested an additional piece of peat, and it should be sending peat into the logistics system now. So what's going to happen is this chest is going to slowly get more peat in it. There we go. Just jumped up. So we know that's working now. And that peat is also not just being stored in a chest, but it's readily available to the entire system. And it only cost me one teleport pipe. I even got back my old provider logistics pipe. Now, while this system is sound in theory, there's an interesting glitch that prevents it from working. Basically, the teleport pipes, if more than one source is trying to use the teleport pipe at on any given tick, the pipes, it'll just kind of crash and they won't work. So, you really have to use more than one frequency. In fact, you have to use a bunch of frequencies. So, what I've done here is I've taken every teleport pipe in my system and given it a unique frequency, and they're all connected to some sort of logistics pipe. So it now works, and they can all be used at the same time without causing any errors. And I also didn't like this automatically sorting stuff that I request. So what I did, I made this the default route only, and it has the request pipe on it, okay? So anything will just stay in here, you'll be able to grab it, it won't just take it out either. And this one here is my quick sort module chest. If I throw something in here like dirt, it gets shot out to that one and added to the stack up here. So I'm just going to cover this up. I may need probably have to add more teleport pipes in later, but just do that on a need-to basis. So out here, of course, I switched all of the frequencies to unique frequencies. I named them after the objects too, so there should be no problems when these systems start up. And all of these chests should sort properly. So I have a significant amount of sticky resin, and I'm just going to start cooking some of this up and get it later, because I want some, and it's kind of ridiculous the amount of resin that I can just have now. I went and gathered more every time I go get that, and I can do it once every 10 or so minutes. I get like 2 stacks of resin. I'm a little surprised at how quickly I can get resin now, after not having it at all. Anyway, down here, it's about time to start using this for its true purpose. This base down here, this is not even, I have not even scratched the surface, okay? What I'm going to do is bust out this wall and make a neat little basement. Alright, so I decided I wanted it on this wall instead. So you come down here, and there's a nice large area that I mined out and prettied up, and there is a pipe coming down here from my logistics system. So I made some project tables up here, because I'm going to need to be pulling some things out of these. This one makes crafting tables. I'm going to take a few of those. And this one makes wooden gears. I'll take some of those. Because I need to make automatic crafting tables. Place these guys down here. Just requesting some glowstone. Because I need to turn these basic logistics pipes into crafting logistics pipes. And basically what you can do is you can tell this system how to craft things. Once you have the recipe ready, if you put it in front of an automatic crafting table and use your wrench, you get this user interface. And the easiest thing to do is just to click import. And now it knows that you can put wood in here to get 4 wooden planks. And now up here, even though I don't have any wooden planks, I can request them. If I click down here, it'll switch it to only craft mode. If I request 6, it'll make them. and put them in this chest. However, there's a leftover of 2, because when you make wooden planks, you make 4 at a time. The remainder in recipes like this goes into the default route, and since this is the default route, it makes its way here. But also, since it wasn't requested, it doesn't do it with very great speed. So the next things I'm going to teach to my system are crafting tables, learned, sticks, learned, wooden gears, and automatic crafting tables. So now I can actually request more automatic crafting tables out of here, and all it costs me is wood. I'm going to request 40. Quest successful. And they'll get pushed into this chest when they're done. If you want to come down and watch it, this is what it looks like. It's pretty sweet. See the items flying into and then leaving. What it does is it never uses up the last of each item here. Here's something unfortunate. It looks like it requested to put too many wooden planks in here at one time, and the rest of them fell out. So sometimes you may have to pace yourself, or simply babysit the system. Now I have a decent amount more of these tables, so I'm going to place them down. Not a bad start. So instead of just showing you every single recipe as I do it, I'm going to put a bunch in the system, and then I'll showcase them all at once. Alright, so the recipes I gave it to craft are wooden planks, piston, bookshelf, crafting table, automatic crafting table, redstone engine, peat-fired engine, stick, paper, book, wooden gear, stone gear, iron gear, gold gear, bronze ingot, sturdy machine, copper gear, copper cable, and electronic circuit. And I would have done more, but I ran out of glowstone. I am completely bereft of glowstone, and that is a shame, because it means I'm going to have to go to the nether again. Yeah, so the next episode I'm going to have to go to the nether, but I'm going to prepare a few things beforehand, alright? So look forward to the next episode when I can expand this crafting system, and I'm going to build something right off the bat to help me stay alive in the nether. So thanks for watching, click that like button, leave a comment, and stay tuned. It's like shooting fish in a barrel sometimes.